We are often drawn to those who achieve greatness, those few who seem to possess extraordinary abilities. We consider such people gifted, blessed, talented, and exceptional, almost as if they were God's favorites. Now that we examine a common thread woven through the lives of many very unique individuals, their frequent experience of loneliness, the question arises here: does God choose to keep those he loves most alone? And the question that follows is, does experiencing loneliness, even without the outward markers of talent or success, suggest a particular closeness to the divine? Could this be true for any of us? This invites a journey of self-exploration to uncover potential answers. Let's delve into this introspective inquiry. As the German literary genius Goethe had once said, the soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Whether God wants you to be lonely because he is offering a punishment or, while not as talented or wealthy as several other, he wants to tell you that you are also among his favorites for some other reason only known to him. Even the deities of myth and legend are often depicted as solitary figures, burdened by their own cosmic responsibilities. This theme of solitude is woven throughout history and across cultures. The truly exceptional among us often experience a deep sense of loneliness. They may be surrounded by admirers, but true connection can be elusive. As the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wisely said, talent hits a target no one else can hit, genius hits a target no one else can see. This seeing what no one else can see can often lead to a sense of isolation, as these individuals navigate a world that doesn't always understand their vision. Consider the lives of the most accomplished individuals in various fields. Athletes who dedicate their lives to rigorous training often sacrifice social connections. Artists who pour their souls into their work are often misunderstood. Musicians who create breathtaking melodies often struggle with inner turmoil. The pressures of leadership often leave top bureaucrats, politicians, and business leaders deeply isolated. They may not have always aspired to the headline-grabbing positions they now occupy, but they were likely unprepared for the loneliness that accompanies such responsibility. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors of all time, lived a very solitary life. He once said, "Be alone, that is the secret of invention, be alone, that is when ideas are born." This doesn't mean that all successful people are friendless or each one in solitude need to be talented. But it does suggest that feelings of loneliness can be our best companion rather than an enemy. So, if you find yourself experiencing this solitude, consider a different interpretation. Perhaps this loneliness is not a deficiency, not a sign of failure, but a crucible, a space for deep introspection and self-discovery. It's a time for you to connect with your inner self, to explore your passions, and to develop your unique gifts. Poet May Sarton wrote, "Loneliness is the poverty of self, solitude is the richness of self." This distinction is crucial. Loneliness is a feeling of being disconnected and unwanted. Solitude, on the other hand, is a conscious choice to spend time with oneself, to nurture one's inner world. While we often encounter the terms loneliness and solitude, with the former being a more common experience, medical science has indeed shown that loneliness contributes to social distress. However, by infusing loneliness with a measure of divine intention and self-introspection, we can cultivate solitude, a state that allows us to embark on a more soulful journey. Now let's establish the definitions once more for articulation. Loneliness, this is generally understood as a negative state characterized by a feeling of isolation, disconnection, and unwanted aloneness. It's often associated with feelings of sadness, anxiety, and a lack of belonging. Also, it has been linked to various health problems and social distress. Solitude, this is a more positive and intentional state of being alone. It's a chosen state that allows for reflection, self-discovery, and connection with one's inner self or a higher power. It's often associated with peace, tranquility, and a sense of deep connection with oneself. Divine intention, this suggests a purpose or meaning beyond oneself. It implies seeking connection with something greater, whether it's a religious faith, a spiritual practice, or a sense of universal interconnectedness. Self-introspection, this involves turning inward and examining one's thoughts, feelings, and motivations. It's about understanding oneself on a deeper level and gaining clarity about one's values and purpose. It may not matter if you speak few words throughout the day, or if your social interactions are limited, or if you find solace in the quiet company of your own thoughts and expressions. Perhaps this very solitude is a divine message. You are being singled out for a unique purpose, a path that requires deep inner strength and unwavering self-reliance. This solitude can be a time of profound spiritual growth, a time to connect with your own inner wisdom and intuition. It can be a time to develop the resilience and self-reliance you'll need to fulfill your unique destiny. As Carl Jung said, loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. Embrace these moments of solitude. Use them to cultivate your gifts, to explore your passions, and to connect with your inner self. Don't be afraid of the quiet moments, they are often the most transformative. This journey of self-discovery may at times feel lonely, but it's a journey worth taking. It's a journey that can lead to profound self-understanding, inner peace, and the fulfillment of your unique potential. If you find yourself feeling lonely, remember you are in good company. Many individuals have walked this path thinking differently, realizing something unique, inventing something unparalleled. Never define solitude as a deficiency, consider it a sign of something special, a message that you're being prepared for a unique purpose. The idea is that if the Hindu mantra, Soham, is the guiding principle, if the universe is indeed within us, then exploring that inner universe requires introspection and quietude. Never define solitude as a deficiency, consider it a sign of something special, a message that you're being prepared for a unique purpose. Imagine the countless saints, sadhus, yogis, adventurers who have willfully embraced solitude as their mainstream of life. Solitude becomes not just a pleasant practice, but a necessity for understanding our true nature and our connection to the cosmos, and for many, it's a chosen way of life. Even if we don't feel we have anything to offer the external world, the act of discovering our inner world, which contains the universe, is itself a divine blessing.